Hello, I'm Danielle Kane, and I'm with the Conscious Broadcast. And I want to thank you for joining me today. And I hope you enjoyed my most recent episode with Nicole and the Awakening Mass Meditation. And I really wanted to take a look at some of the concepts that we discussed in that episode today. So not only was I so excited to hear Nicole's story and how she is who she is, and how much the mass meditations really do affect us all. Some of the things that we deal on our daily life is so simple, and just the day-to-day relationships, interactions with people do also have an impact on our growth. And so I wanted to go into that a little bit today. I watched a really cool episode on Gaia. It was with Regina Meredith, and the program is called Open Minds. And she was interviewing Lee Harris, who is a channeler of the Z's. And I find channeling very fascinating. So I just happened to be listening to this episode, and I find it very interesting to hear how other people interview others, just because I'm very obviously connected to that. And so in this interview, she spoke with Lee first before they got into the channeling. He does a live channel there. But she had questions just on kind of what's going on presently with everybody as we shift through this awakening. And the title was called Balancing the Chaos. And I thought that was really, really cool because we all are kind of experiencing our own chaos, whether it's internal, external. That's part of the shifting. That's part of the unveiling of the reality that is there and that I've had personally. So what some of the questions that came up that also I feel like is somewhat relevant to what Nicole and I were talking about were the I don't want to call it necessarily the Akashic records, but like the dimensions in the Earth's plane. The dimensions on Earth, what was spoken about was that um, we and the multidimensional beings that we are. So let's start off with the multidimensional beings. Because when I think multidimensional, I'm thinking, okay, the parallel lives that we live, and that's a whole nother gamut. But this is just talking about Earth. So on Earth, we are multidimensional, and here's an example. I am Danielle, right? So I am myself, but I am also a daughter. I'm also a sister, a spouse, a friend, a coworker, a business owner. So I play so many roles. I'm multidimensional. And with that, you don't have to think about changing. Oh, I got to be the parent now, or oh, I got to be, well, sometimes, but you just become because you just are. So when my children are home, I am the parent, I become the mother, and I just am playing that role. And then when I go and I spend time with my mom and dad, I am now the child. And so I felt that was such a wonderful way to explain to all of us, to our human minds, and understanding how amazing and expansive this reality is. I think you could be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But on a broader scale, it just shows you how we aren't just this one being playing one role here, that we're playing multiple roles, and we have multiple roles for each other and our growth here. Also, the dimensions he mentioned on Earth, are specific for us because of the gravitational pull. We have these dimensions here on Earth that we go through, and it makes sense to me what he was referring to. So let's just say I get on a phone call with somebody that's kind of struggling or having a hard time, and they're in a lower vibration. I'm choosing to enter that lower vibrational dimension. And how I want to explore it and then leave after that is up to me. I can choose to decide, or not want to take that on. And you can easily just say that you recognize that that is not the energy for me, and I choose to not stay into that vibration. And or you just had an amazing experience or uplifting experience, maybe a sound meditation or a mass awakening meditation, and are in a very high vibrational place and want to stay there. And then the next minute you walk into another place and another place and another place. So you're changing dimensions here on Earth multiple times within minutes. So your morning, your afternoon, your evening. So I thought that was such a really interesting way to not complicate things. I think when you start to do this type of work, at least for me, I'm exploring, I'm very curious. So I like to kind of know what else is out there. What more can you tell me that I can allow my mind to validate within my soul what I feel could be or may not be true? I'm more or less open to it being a truth than not through this experience. And so another thing that was discussed was about this awakening. And we've briefly discussed this before. What is an awakening? I think it's different for everybody. For me, it's being able to see things for what they really are and not being persuaded or under some kind of spell based on propaganda or messages, the subliminal messages that are very, very, very frequent in grocery stores, on the radio, the news, it's everywhere. Posters. So for me, I want to be like, hello, do you not see this? And the great message from the Z's was, you really have to, it's all about planting the seed, right? And I think a lot of us have done that naturally. I know I started doing that years ago, but doing it with compassion and showing where you are and the love that you have. If you come from a loving place, people are more receptive to receiving this information than from an anger place. Like, you got to see this. And I think that's just a matter of time for us to do the work. So, even though we have conversations, and I had a conversation with my spouse about, I don't want to play a role of something that I know is no longer true. And so when one of my friends or family members is talking about something that I don't believe in, and it almost somewhat puts me in a lower vibration, how do I deal with that? And so that's part of the work. The Z's say that those are the exact reasons. Me having that conversation is me working on myself, is me working out the things that I have to do, that I was brought onto this earth for this reason. And it's just, I really highly recommend anyone to take a look at that specific show if you're interested. It's on Gaia, and again, Open Minds with Regina Meredith. I know I'm plugging them big right now, but they that message really validated a lot of what I'm experiencing. And a final note on the reflection of that video was the purpose of why we're here is that we all have some kind of role that we want to play. And Nicole knew early on that she just had this natural ability to want to help people. Like, again, I'll hold my diaper bag, and now it's all about serving the masses, right? This global mass meditation. And so the reflection of this episode that I saw was that he did say that. He said, we all have to do something at some scale. So whether it's doing a mass meditation, and that is how you are serving your purpose, this channel, the conscious broadcast, is definitely a deeper driven desire to help that is beyond, I guess, my being. This is something that again, I'm very new to this, but I love it. It makes me happy. It brings me joy. And I feel like I can help expand all of our minds together. So that was it. So we all have a role to play, to take part in each other's lives, whether it's something small. It doesn't have to be so huge, but it's something that I think we all will make an impact on each other if we really are truly in I guess, alignment with what that message is. So I found that to be so fascinating as well. And, want to make sure that we continue to thrive and, knowing that place where you start to question, what am I doing? Is there something bigger out there? You are right on track to finding that next level and next purpose. And so I want to thank you again for tuning into my channel. I'm always interested in hearing what you have to share. If this is something that resonates with you, please reach out to the Conscious Broadcast, and we'll get together and see you on the next episode. Have a wonderful day.